Hackney Learning Disabilities Partnership Forum. We celebrated the second meeting of the Hackney Learning Disability Partnership Forum on July the 11th at the Tomlinson Centre in Hackney. We reminded ourselves that the aim of the forum was to work in partnership with all Hackney people to make it a better place for people who have a learning disability to live.
Our overall aim for it was that we want to work in partnership to make things better for people with learning disabilities in Hackney.
Congratulations to Peter, who is now the co-chair with Gareth.
We did talk about having 4 working groups and we set the tables out on that basis, and Peter's going to introduce what we'd like you to discuss.
So in your work groups, it's to find out what 2 of the organisations in your work group does, and then plan what your working group will do between now and the next partnership forum.
It was discussed how information may be provided in a way that is accessible to all. In future, the meetings will continue to be filmed, unless you let us know that you do not want that. In the first part of the forum, we spoke about the Learning Disabilities Charter. The themes for the Charter and the work groups are:
Independent group.
We will visit some local employers and see how easy it is to work and get a job.
And what we might need to do if we want to work.
The Health and Wellbeing Group.
We are going to visit the Homerton Hospital.
We are going to imagine that
We have a hospital appointment. For example, a blood test, a hearing test, or an eye test.
And we will see how easy it is to find our way around.
By community group.
We will look at how easy it is to get information.
and how to access services.
Where I live group.
We will look at how each of us can work together.
And if we can make housing problems easier to solve.
The second part of the meeting was about how the Council and the NHS can develop the specialist service for residents with a learning disability. At the moment, this is called Hackney Integrated Learning Disabilities Service. There was lots of discussion about how you find the service and what it might look like. Anne McGill from the service spoke about the Integrated Learning Disability Service and how people come into it.
How the service is going to work, and one of the things that's really important is about how people come into the service and access the service and find out about the service in the first place. We have a certain amount of people every year that come into the service through transition. So that's young people who have moved from children's services to adult services. And on average, most years, there are about 20 young people that come through to the adult learning disability service. And those young people, we already know them, and we've got to know them before they're 18. And so them coming into the service should be an easy and straightforward process for them and for their families, and it shouldn't be difficult, because we should already be talking to them and having conversations with them. And in the future, we want to be doing that from a much earlier age, so from really about age 14 or year 9 in school, because that's when we really need to start having conversations with young people. And throughout the year, we sometimes get new people with learning disabilities that perhaps have moved to Hackney from somewhere else and we don't know them. Or there may be people that have lived in Hackney for a long time but have been getting support perhaps from mum or dad who then perhaps are getting older and finding things a bit difficult, and things change in their life and perhaps they start to need some more support. So they might come to us for the first time. They have to be referred to the service, and that's something they can do themselves by writing a letter, phoning up, making a referral online, or they can go and talk to somebody like their GP who can make a referral to the service for them, or other people that perhaps they know, or a family member, or it could be somebody they know it could be through housing. We get some referrals from housing, voluntary organisations, advocacy organisations, so a whole range of people. So anybody can make a referral. What we know is our referral process isn't very easy because some of the forms that have to be filled in perhaps aren't very straightforward or very simple. So we need to do some work on that. We know from Ella that the information that's on the local offer website probably isn't what it should be either, and we need to do some work on that, especially for young people. So we know we've got a lot of work to do. We do have some easy read leaflets that we can give to people, but they all need updating and refreshing as we go into the new structure to explain what it is we're doing. And the other thing we do that I think is really important isn't just about giving out leaflets or relying on people using the internet. It's about going out and talking to people face to face. And I think that's probably, for me, one of the most important things. So rather than the staff in the team being sat in Hackney Service Centre, behind their desks, people need to be out in Hackney, in the community, going to groups and going to places like this where people come together or meet and talking to them about what we do as a service. So transition, we've started to do that. And although at the moment there's only a couple of members of staff, that team's getting bigger, so we'll be able to do more of it. But already we try and attend all of the parents' evenings, for instance, at special schools, when we go to school reviews, we go to the colleges if they have open evenings or events, and we just try and be there and available to talk to people and to families at a much earlier stage. But I think the fact we know what the gaps are, there's probably some that we haven't thought about, and that's, I think, why we're here today, but we are committed to making it better.